How is money created? Where does it come from? Who benefits? And what purpose does it serve?
The money system. What is the money behind the money system?
For centuries, the mechanics of the monetary system have remained hidden from the prying eyes of the populace. Yet its impact, both on a national and international level, is perhaps unsurpassed. For it is the monetary system that provides the foundations for international dominance and national control. Today, as these very foundations are being shaken by crises, the need for open and honest dialogue on the future of the monetary system has never been greater.
This economic crisis is like a cancer. If you just wait and wait thinking this is going to go away, just like a cancer, it's going to grow and it's going to be too late. What I would say to everybody is get prepared. This is not a time right now to wishful thinking the government is going to sort things out. The governments don't rule the world. Goldman Sachs rules the world. We're on the verge of a perfect storm.
In opposition lie corrupt and entrenched interests that lurk in the corridors of power, for whom there are no reasons to relinquish privileges they feel are justly deserved.
Has he got a reform plan for the NHS? No. Has he got a police reform plan? Has he got a plan to cut the deficit?
Order! Miss Order! Order!
Do you trust the government?
Order! Try to calm down and behave like an adult, and if you can't, if it's beyond you, leave the chamber, get out, we'll manage without you.
There's no coincidence that boom and bust started to become a real cyclical issue around about the 1700s when William Paterson founded the Bank of England.
It is intolerable behaviour as far as the pub. No, it's not funny. Only in your mind is it funny. It's not funny at all. It's disgraceful.
The system is inherently unstable as a result of the international power it provides to the dominant parties. For at the heart of it lies the idea of, how can I get something for nothing?
Statistical analysis has found that every time an empire begins to near its own demise, you'll find that its currency will be debased.
There is no guide to how this whole system operates. To give you an example, a researcher at the BBC working on a Robert Preston documentary went to the Bank of England and said, "Can you give me a guide to how money is created?" And they just said no.
This documentary will investigate and explain this ever-changing system and the impact it has both on a national and international level. In 2010, the total UK money supply stood at £2.15 trillion. 2.6% of this total was physical cash, £53.5 billion. The rest, £2.1 trillion, or 97.4% of the total money supply, was commercial bank money.
The 3% of money is created through the central bank, and that money essentially, if you created a £10 note, you could sell that to a bank to put into their ATM, and the bank would have to repay that £10 or buy it for £10. There'd be no interest charged on that money, but that money is then essentially transferred to the Treasury, and it's a form of fundraising for the government. It's called seigniorage.
when the Bank of England creates a £10 note, it costed about 3 or 4 pence to actually print that note, and it sells it to the high street banks at face value, so at £10. And the profit, the difference between printing the note and actually selling it for £10, goes directly to the treasury. So in effect, all the profit that we get on creating physical money, banknotes, goes to the treasury, and it reduces how much taxes we have to pay. Over the last 10 years, that's raised about £18 billion.
In 1948, notes and coins constituted 17% of the total money supply.
This was one contributing factor in the government's ability to finance post-war reconstruction. This included the establishment of the NHS. In only 60 years, notes and coins have shrunk to less than 3%. Prior to 1844, banknotes were created by private banks, and the government did not profit from their creation.
Pre-industrialization, there was multiple forms of money coexisting, and so the kind of rise of government-sponsored fiat money is a relatively recent phenomenon.
In the 1840s, there was no law to stop banks from creating their own banknotes, so they used to issue paper notes as kind of a representative of what you had in the bank account. Instead of you taking your heavy metal coins out of the bank and then going and paying somebody with them, you could get your paper which said how much money you had in the bank. And you could give that to somebody, and they could use that to go and get the heavy metal coins from the bank. Now, over time, these paper notes became as good as money. People would use the paper notes instead of going and getting the real money from the bank. And obviously, as soon as the banks realized that what they were creating had become, the dominant type of money in the economy, they realized that by creating more of it, they could generate profits. They can just print up some new notes, lend it, and get the interest on top of that. And they did that, up until the 1840s. In the 1840s, they pushed it just a little bit too far, and that caused inflation. It destabilized the economy. So in 1844, the Conservative government of Robert Peel actually passed a law that took the power to create money away from the commercial banks, and brought it back to the state. So since then, the Bank of England has been the only organization authorized to create paper notes. Since then, everything's gone digital. And what we now use as money is the digital numbers that commercial banks can create out of nothing.
The problem was that they did not include in that legislation the deposits, the demand deposits held in banks by individuals, or electronic forms of money, which essentially what those demand deposits are today. Most of the money in circulation is electronic money, and it's bank demand deposits that sit in our account. So in a way, the legislation needs to catch up with developments in electronic money and the way that banks actually operate.
Money held in bank accounts are called demand deposits. This is an accounting term the banks use when they create credit. Banks follow the same process when they create loans. All money held in bank accounts is an accounting entry.
The reality is now that most money is not paper and it's not metal coins, it's digital. It's just numbers in a computer system. It's your Visa debit card, it's your electronic, ATM card. It's plastic, it's numbers in a computer system. You move money from one computer system to another. It's all a big database. And this digital money is what we're now using to make payments with. It's what we actually use to run the economy.
I think a lot of people in the UK probably think that the government or the central bank is in control of most money in circulation and issues new money into circulation, but that's not the case. It's private banks that create the vast majority of new money in circulation and also decide how it's allocated.
The official terminology for this accounting entry is commercial bank money. When banks issue loans to the public, they create new commercial bank money. When a customer repays a loan, commercial bank money is destroyed. The banks keep the interest as profit.
There's a lot of misconceptions about the way banks work. There was a poll done by the Cobden Centre where they asked people, how they thought banks actually operated. Around 30% of the public think that when you put your money into the bank, it just stays there and it's safe. And you can understand why, because every child has a piggy bank where you keep putting money in, and then when it's a rainy day, you smash it and you take that money out and you spend it. So a lot of people keep this idea of banking, it's somewhere safe to keep your money so that it's there for whenever you need it. The other 60% of people assume that when you put your money in, that money's then being moved across to somebody who wants to borrow it. So you have a pensioner who keeps saving money her entire life, and then her life savings have been lent to some, young people who want to buy a house. But actually, banks don't work like that.
At the moment in the UK, money creation and control is largely in the hands of private banks. About 97 to 98% of money that's created is created as bank debt money, you could call it, when banks issue money into circulation as loans, essentially. This is a very poorly understood fact.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not a crackpot theory. It's the way the Bank of England describes the process. When banks make loans, they create new money. A few economists will realize the way the money system works, but if you don't realize the way that money works, and you think that everybody saving is going to work well for the economy. What really happens once you understand the way the money system works is that if everybody starts saving, the amount of money in the economy shrinks, and we have a recession. So most economists don't have this full picture. They don't understand all elements of the system. They rely on assumptions, on received knowledge, without actually going into the details. And money is the center of the economy. If you don't understand where it comes from, who creates it, and when it gets created, then how can you understand the entire economy? When the vast majority of money that we use now is not cash, but it's electronic money, then whoever's creating the electronic money is getting the proceeds of creating that money. And obviously, creating electronic money is much more profitable than creating cash, because you don't have any production costs at all. So while we've got 18 billion over the course of a decade in profit from creating cash, the banks have actually created 1.2 trillion pounds.
Between 1998 and 2007, the UK money supply tripled. 1.2 trillion pounds was created by banks, whilst 18 billion pounds was created by the Treasury.
A lot of people think when I say this, or when you say this, or when Positive Money say this, that we're all just a bunch of nutters. But on the 9th of March in 2009, the governor of the Federal Reserve, Ben Bernanke, gave the first ever broadcast interview the governor of the central bank of the United States of America had ever given. And the day before that, he'd bailed out AIG.
Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your weekly reading. This is from May 15th to the 21st, and remember, it could also be timeless. Okay, and so I am bringing some Giant's Blood incense for you. This is to clear your energy and space, and give you protection. And I will leave it burning on the side here throughout the reading for you. All right. So we'll put it like this. And for those of you that are wearing earphones and you're very sensitive with your ears, or you lower your volume, or you take out your earphones, I will be ringing the singing bowl. This is for the root chakra. So take a deep breath in and out. Let's get into the Zen energy before we get into your actual reading. So let's take a deep breath in. Hold. And release. Another time. Take a deep breath in. Hold. And release. And another time. Beautiful. Hello, my beautiful Capricorns. How are you all doing? So, like last week, I asked you, and I'm going to ask you again this week. What have you been like? How you been feeling during this, this eclipse season with the Mercury retrograde, but especially with the new moon eclipse that we had in Aries, and now the full moon solar eclipse, lunar eclipse that we had in Scorpio. Let me know how you're feeling. You know, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, whatever it is, But for those of you that have been feeling good and you're passing through it, maybe you could give tips on how you're doing and what you're doing to maintaining this type of energy, so that everybody on the collective for Capricorn could look at the messages and see what could inspire them. So please feel free to share your information underneath the video and how you are doing, and if you know tips or how to perceive in this type of energy, what you could give at this time, okay? Like in your messages. So we're going to get started right away. We're going to take out some oracle cards first, and then I will get into your actual reading. So let's see, what is your crystal? For Capricorn, what's your crystal? Okay. Auralite, number 8. So let's look at Auralite. I will give you the essential meaning and then how to use it for your meditation. This is about mindfulness, meditation on the present moment. And the Crystal Spirit Meditation says, Auralite contains 23 different minerals and is a healer on many levels. No one benefit outweighs the other. Starting slowly meditating with this stone for short periods of time regularly allows us to become used to its energy. It works on all the chakras, and it is a stone that can be used effectively to address any issue of the mind, body, or spirit. Auralite. Beautiful. Now we're going to look at your angel numbers. For Capricorn, what are their angel numbers? Number 4. And your affirmation is, I am stable, I am stable, I am stable, and so it is. So you got number 4. Oops, there we go. Says, you bring stability and rationality to any situation. You are the rock, and your hard work and perseverance make you a dependable friend, partner, and colleague. Okay, now we're going to look into the runes. This is a new addition on the channel, the runes. I love working with runes.
So this is me now. This is me now. Gotta be honest. I'm kind of enjoying my midlife crisis. I am. I have my midlife crisis vehicle picked out and everything. I'm super excited about it. Custom paint job, custom wheels. I think I'm going to call it the Sassy Wagon. Yeah. Yeah. We're going there. We're going there. Hey, Sassy fam. Welcome to your mid-month check-in for May. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. Oh my goodness. We are in mid-May. I cannot believe it. Time is just, well, truly, time is fleeting, yes? Time is fleeting. And it just carries on, and we are busy. Next read. Aries, welcome to your mid-month check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Baseline reading only, no clarification. We're going to do a brief yours and theirs. Show me Aries, please. What's going on for Aries? Show me Aries, please. What's going on for Aries? Once more, take what resonates, say what does not, and with yours and theirs, feel free to reverse energies as it applies. Okay, what's going on for Aries? Prst, nice. Page of Cups, nice. The Devil, not so nice. Interesting. Surrounding you, the Hermit, the Hierophant. That is some Big Daddy energy right there. Whoa. Where is that focus coming from? Honey, what's with the Devil? Oh, I wish I was clarifying real bad. Oh, I wish I was clarifying real bad. All you're telling me is that it's a little scary for you to keep your heart open? Okay. Don't let that take away from your Empress energy.
You know I love your red ass. I'm playing your reader before me, but of course you know I always listen to all my placements. But why I show up in your reader right off the motherfucking bat? The damn Devil.
This is self-empowerment at its finest. Highly productive, highly attractive. But your Devil's attached to your Page of Cups, which is the smallest form of heart space. In other words, there's a little fear here in keeping your heart open towards something or someone. If it helps you, someone with some really big spiritual energy, they just pulled 3 majors in their own right. There might be some shakeup with some energy surrounding you. And it seems to be provoking fear in your heart. Like you always knew this was going to happen, or you knew this was going to come through. Let's see if there's shared energy here. 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. I can kind of see why you're a little leery or a little weary. You're kind of afraid to open your heart up towards this entity or energy when it approaches you, and it looks like it will. I can see why you're kind of surprised, and it automatically puts your heart space into a place of fear. You're otherwise very encompassing as the Empress. I believe the Empress is who you really are. Absolutely. Someone who is highly productive, highly loving, highly generous, has a big heart space. Okay. Many people look up to this person, the ideal embodiment of self-empowerment. You are showing me what looks like, I believe, a pulse of fear to something that is situational or someone who is specific to you. And it could literally be Virgo as well as Taurus, Cappy. Oh, all the Earth is here. Okay. And it looks scary to you in that respect of it immediately makes your heart palpitate in a way that suggests, oh, I knew this was coming, I knew this was coming, I knew this was coming. And so like I said, if it helps you, might it be a surprise? Yes. Might it trigger old fears? Yes. Does that take away from who you are as the Empress? No. You will still essentially be you. Give yourself more credit for handling this. It is something that looks like you exited from. Okay, something. And it doesn't have to be a significant other or a love interest or a lover or anything like that. It's anyone whom you tried to emotionally stabilize with and could not. That could be anyone. Okay, when our cups aren't creating the harmony that we want, and we have to sometimes exit that situation, which you showed me you did with the 6 of Swords and 7 of Pentacles, you slowly got back to getting what matters to you. Stuff that you already had going on before whatever this history is with this person or situation. It does come back in. It's coming in the form of surprise. However, the energy suggests that it's peaceful and it means no harm. I think whatever this is used to provoke old fears in you as it relates to your heart. You were afraid to have feelings for this situation or this person because it was hurtful, or perhaps you had a bad pattern with them once upon a time. It might have felt toxic, like your heart space for this person might have felt toxic, or the connection might have felt toxic. So even a little bit of heart for it that you had, it provokes in you or triggers in you fears that you could become attached to it again for the wrong reasons. So I can tell you right now, this is a very specific situation or person. Otherwise, you would not be reacting this way. The Empress would not just react this way for any reason. You're telling me it's tied to a situation, a very specific one, or a very specific person. It is something that you left behind because it wouldn't stabilize, or the emotions wouldn't match up, or somebody's heart was in it more than the other person's. We weren't on the same page at the same time in terms of emotional quality. I don't know. I see you resigning yourself from it and moving away from it, and then you got back to what matters with your own particular Seven of Pentacles. So again, I can't emphasize this enough. Their energy, while it comes in possibly as a surprise, it is coming from, I believe, a higher sense of self, which is to suggest how you last left this person is not who they are today. Okay? If that helps you. Or how you last left the situation with this person. It's not the same. Their energy suggests it's soft, that it's spiritual, that it has good intentions behind it, but yes, it comes in as a surprise. And I think what it does is it drags your heart back into the past where you last left it, in a place of, my emotional response to this isn't healthy. I loved it and I probably shouldn't have. It put me in a weird place or a bad place. We have unrequited feelings between us. And for me, it went into a deep place. And that's how I last remember this situation or person. Something like that. It's not exactly like that, but that's more or less the ballpark. So when it does come in, it will be a bit of a surprise, which means it's outside of your control. I know. It puts you into a state of worry. It is something at the mental level preoccupies you sometimes. What if this comes back around? What will it look like? It puts me in my headspace. I'm kind of fearful of it. I don't think you're fearful of the person. I don't. It doesn't feel like that. I think you're fearful of the feeling it provoked in you. Okay. In that perspective, it might have come from good, honest love, but how it resulted was something bad or obsessive or toxic. It's like, whatever love you had for this situation, you had to leave it because you understood it was no good, at least not for you. So when this comes back in, I have actually no fucking clue. I would tell you if I did. I'm not seeing any references to timelines here. I just know that given that kind of Big Daddy spiritual energy here, which again is soft, it seems unassuming, and it seems to be coming from the interests of healing and higher spiritual self. I think they're coming back through of their own accord. And how you last left this situation is not how it's being presented again. There's something here about a change element that's quite strong. Otherwise, you're the Empress, and I want you to take comfort in that. So whenever this does come in, give yourself the credit of knowing that you'll be fine. Okay? And you don't have to accept anything. You don't. But it is something that has stayed in your mind in terms of mental worry, of business left undone, words left unsaid, things unfinished. And it's that kind of energy that plagues us, and that can provoke a devil response. It's like, I don't know if I can trust my heart for this situation. I know I had love for it, and then it turned into a bad thing. Or I was left empty-handed, or I was left just waving out there in the wind because I was trying to emotionally harmonize with someone and it wouldn't work, so I had to exit. So take comfort in your Empress energy, please. You are more self-empowered than you know. And I can also tell you that whatever this is that's coming back through, it's just not how you last recognize it. So I can see where you would immediately have a fear response, but it looks like it won't be what you had thought. Okay, I think most of that fear comes from unresolved issues between you and this person. What they want to say, I don't know. It just looks like a very peaceful spiritual energy that it comes through as a surprise. That tells me they kind of learn things. And they've learned things. But I have no clue. I have no reference to time here. This is going to happen when it's going to happen. Okay? All right, let's get some angel answers here. I think that you are essentially the Empress, yes. And I think this specific person or situation provoked. I used to have really strong feelings for this. Really strong. But it seemed to have gone into a bad place. That's how, because again, how you last remembered it was not great. How you last felt about it was not great. And I'm telling you, the energy here that's being presented to you says it's not going to be like that. I'm coming back in on the season, coming back in on the scene for a reason. Okay. And it looks like it's in the interest of healing and a sense of higher self and transformation. That's exactly what I'm telling you. That's what they're emphasizing. It's a peaceful energy. It is. Peaceful resolution. It's very much attached to them. It seems to, I know it comes in as a surprise, but there's no malice as far as I can see behind it. Okay? That's all I can see. They're offering a kind of peaceful resolution. I get it, honey. I get it. When you feel something that powerfully for someone or a situation and it's not returned or it's not balanced, it's going to put your heart in a bad place. It's going to make you feel like your love was sticky or gross or unwelcome. And that's how you last remembered this person, I believe. So you made me feel bad about my love for you. And that's the kind of shit that's going to keep you up at night. So they're offering, as far as I can tell, peace, resolution, understanding, and healing. Okay? I don't think you expected it from this person. I really don't. So that's going to provoke a fear response. So if you too are under that, as soon as they present peace, if they do, insights, learning, I think you'll start to relax back into your Empress energy. Okay. All right. I don't think we need any more. No? Oh, okay. Yes, I said, no need to worry. Okay. It's very different than you last left it or it last left you. But it does look like you're the one who exited, and I see why. You were made to feel bad about your love. Okay? And otherwise very cohesive and well-composed Aries. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. All right? In terms of having to feel bad about what you felt for someone, that it got taken to a weird place, or that your love energy was misconstrued or used or something like that, I don't know. Virgo, welcome to your mid-month check-in. Baseline reading only, no clarification. We're going to do a brief yours and theirs. Show me what I need to see, please, for Virgo in their person. Show me what I need to see, please, for Virgo in their person. Show me Virgo. Virgo, Capricorn, welcome to your mid-month check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Baseline reading only, no clarification. We're going to do a brief yours and theirs. Show me. Show me Capricorn in their person, please. Show me Capricorn in their person, please. Show me. Show me Capricorn in their person, please. What's going on? Show me, Cappy. Like always, take it resonates, leave it does not. And with yours and theirs, reverse energies as it applies. Okay? Starting off for your side. Page of Pentacles. Oh, Nine of Wands, you're tired. The Star. You'll get around to it. I just don't think today's the day. Whatever that is. Page of Pentacles, you have something on your mind in terms of a realistic small investment, but you're pushing it off right now. Nine of Wands is like, now's not the time. I don't have the energy. I'm exhausted. It doesn't make me any less subject to my dreams, hopes, wishes, wants, and desires. That's still with me, but right now, today is not that day. So you have your own particular reasons. I just, you know me. The Nine of Wands can be detrimental in that respect, that we have a habit, okay, a habit of pushing things off. You might be physically tired. You might be exhausted emotionally. I don't know, okay? I just know that it's kind of important to you, and I know you see it as a low-key thing that you can start. I don't even know if it's a relationship at this point, but you're saying today's not that day. Okay, so if you are that Capricorn who indeed pushes things off with that Nine of Wands, please know that that star's still going to be with you. You still have strong hope and desires, and I do hope you get into a place where you can invest in it. Okay? I don't even know if it's about a person at this point. Two of Swords, Nine of Cups, the King of Cups. Nine of Cups, Two of Swords, King of Cups. Okay, well. I don't know about that. Nine of Cups, Two of Swords. I mean, dang it. Hold on. The Emperor. Okay. All right. I got some sort of relationship energy here, possibly commitment. Okay. I was very curious about their reaction towards you. It's looking like they don't know how to support you. Okay. What makes them happy? But they're saying Two of Swords. I'm confused right here on the midline. And it's that confusion against your frustration. Then I clarified further. I'm like, okay, I got two people here who are trying to both express themselves in a relationship. This did not come across to me as relationship energy. This came across heavily to me as personal goal. Okay. It could be a work thing. It could be a personal thing to you. I don't know, but it's a serious contemplation under your individual energy. I have someone attached to you who has big feeling. They tend to be very, very expressive. But in this respect, they're claiming, I don't know how to support you. Otherwise, I would. Okay. They're like, I know you want this thing, Capricorn, but you're delaying it. And I support that. I don't necessarily understand what you're going through, but I'm trying to be here as a supportive energy towards you. And here I have a Four of Wands, the King of Swords, the Emperor. So I have a relationship energy here. Like I said, possibly could be commitment to some type, but I have two heads of state trying to keep things cool within the context of this relationship. I do believe that this person is highly emotional, but for you, they're trying to switch hats to the King of Swords energy. In that respect of, okay, I see where you are right now. It makes sense. I don't know that I necessarily understand it, okay, but I am trying to support you, and I support your decision because you're showing me firmness here as the Emperor. You're saying whatever this isn't lost on you. You haven't given up on it, but you're also saying no, and it's irritating you. It's irritating you. It feels like you're having to delay a goal once more. You're having to delay an investment once more in yourself. Again, this is personal. It doesn't look like relationship. I have someone here who supports you and sometimes doesn't know how, especially on what looks like a sore point for you. Like they know that this is a sore point for you and it frustrates you, and they love you a great deal. That's a lot of love in there. This is someone who's very emotionally generous. From your point of view, perhaps possibly too much. You know, for that Capricorn Earth sign, he's like, whoa, what's with the waterfall? What's with the waterfall? Let's see that overview. I know. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, honey. Five of Pentacles, you feel separated from your dreams. You feel separated from your dream, your goals, your something, but it's personal to you. It has nothing to do with the relationship. It doesn't feel that way. I think the person who's attached to you is doing their best to understand and support you in this, and while you are trying to be firm, but it's like, I'm disappointed by this again. I can't invest in this once more. I can't see to my needs, wants, wishes, or goals once more. So that tells me it's happened before with that Nine of Wands, and it's a delay, and it aggravates you. You feel broken from your dream. You feel broken from your goal, and it pisses you off. And here you are, you know, trying to be firm about it. Like, it's okay. I'll get back to it another day. Yes, I was thwarted again once more. And yeah, it kind of pisses me off, but I'm still in control of me, right? And I just like, okay, honey. Okay. Well, I'm here. I understand your reasons. They're like, I'm confused, Cappy. I know this means a lot to you, and I'm trying not to get emotional, and I'm trying to understand things from your point of view. So I have someone here who's kind of going along for the ride. But whatever that is to you, you know, I'm sorry. We do get in that place sometimes in life where we have this particular ambition. We have this concept, and it seems so simple. And it seems so small. Why can't I get this fucking thing started? Right? I know. And it seems like you've been thwarted time and again for something that's important to you. So I would challenge you just in that respect, because Nine of Wands is repetitive behavior. When it comes time for you to invest in your goal, your hope and dream, do you kind of self-impose? Kind of put it off for another day? Hmm. Are you making enough room for yourself? Because your person legitimately feels like they don't know how to respond to this because they've seen it before, but they're trying to be there for you emotionally. So I would challenge you. Do you sometimes get in the way of investing in your own goals, convincing yourself you don't have the time? I can see you don't have the energy. You're exhausted. So are you giving yourself enough space to achieve something that's personal to you? That's all I would say. Okay. Other than that, I got someone in here with you who's like, okay, I'm going to turn off the water for you and put my hard hat on and try to see things from your perspective. There you go. Otherwise, I think this person's quite the gusher, if I'm being honest with you. Even I'm looking at him like, whoa, that's a lot of water. You know, they're like, I don't know how to support you in this, Capricorn, but I'm happy. I hope you are too. Something like that. Okay. Angel answers, please, for Capricorn. I hope that was helpful, but it feels so terribly personal. And you are so terribly exhausted and frustrated. You feel you've been thwarted once more and that you've been broken from your dream and once more. But you still have to be in control. You still have to be firm. I get that. My only question is, how many times has this happened? And how much of it might be self-imposed? Something to think about. Okay. Angel answers, please. Angel answers, please. Right. Oh, isn't that cheeky? Reconsider. Perhaps it's not what we're thinking it is. You know? Yeah, reconsider. Recovery, improving your health. I told you, do not dismiss this goal. Just because you're in a not great place now, or you're physically exhausted, or it was more self-imposed energy, recover. Recover. I told you it was not about the connection. It's something that's personal to you. I got that straight away. Recovery and improving health. Some of you are physically exhausted, and some of you that is imposed. And it keeps you from looking at you and taking care of you and your goals. Something to think about. Okay? Especially if you're in the process of physically recovering your energy. I want you to take this time to reconsider your effort towards the goal and why hasn't it happened. This would have been a great example for moving on. Damn. Your moving on one was okay. I remember it well enough. But this one would have been a great example. I would love to dig in there and see why you feel like this is yet one more defeat on the same fucking subject. I'm very curious about that because I want to get you to that star. You want to get to that star too. But in your mind, you keep getting delayed from it and that you're supposed to abandon it. No. I want you to reconsider. I want you to reconsider that. It's your star for a reason. I don't think you've had a chance to investigate it, and I don't think you've had a chance to invest in it. So you're not going to know that that star is for you until you can actually start pursuing it. I don't want you to call it quits yet with that 5 of Pentacles. I don't think you're supposed to abandon this star just yet. It might need modification. It might need a different approach. True. Just because we have something in our head about what the vision's supposed to be like, that doesn't mean it was supposed to be mapped out that way. Sometimes we have to flow our star differently than what we had thought. So it's like, it won't come together. It might not come together under the current way that you approach it. And that's why your attempts keep getting thwarted. I don't know. Wild guess there. But I want you to reconsider this. I don't want you to abandon this star yet. You have a support person in here. I see that. And they don't always know how to comfort you because this seems to be a recurring issue. That's the Capricorn I'm looking at today. Okay? All right. I hope this helped you. You put in the comments as you see fit. And I will see you for your next reading. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your mid-month. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. Baseline reading only. No clarification. We're going to do a brief yours and theirs. Do you like the shirt? I thought of us when I bought it. It was definitely a thrift store find. Oh, yes, we thrift. Let me tell you why, honey. Let me tell you why. Our natural investigative skills. Oh, honey. I have found so many name brand labels and vintage labels at thrift stores. It is wild. It is wild, the things that people will donate, and it's practically brand new. I cannot begin to tell you, honey. It is wild, but I saw this and I'm like, Sometimes life is like that for a Scorpio. You get in your rubber duck and you float down river while drinking a beer. Sometimes it's
I see it, 757.
I live in the South. We take tubing very seriously down here.
I'm folding up clothes.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, I have found some of the coolest shit. You ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? Okay. Seriously, classic. Classic. Love that movie. But there's this shot where he goes into, I think, a thrift store, and he picks up the most random shit, and it is true to life. I think he finds a pair of katanas when he's at the thrift store, and I'm like, that's true. That is true. Oh, honey, and I'm a book junkie. I'm a book nerd. I cannot begin to tell you how many first editions, first publications that are in there, and they have no idea. I have
you find the best shit at a damn thrift store.
Children's stories from once upon a time a very popular publisher that are easily worth a couple
I'll
thousand.
be back later on, baby girl.
And it's like 5 of them.